So
welcome back to Birds of A Fedda.
Yes.
That over there is Chinoy. And today we're going to be talking about a very topical thing amongst us millennials. We're going to jump into ghosting. And before we do, we're going to have some words from our sponsors. We don't have any sponsors yet, but we'll have. But in order to get sponsors, what do they have to do, Chinoy?
They have to like, subscribe, share, and carry on the conversation in the comment section, because that also helps to get us sponsors.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we can bring all the goodies to you guys, because the sponsors will give us sponsors.
Yeah, and then we can give to you, the people. Right? All right. So as we say, we're going to speak about ghosting. So this is a fairly new term.
It is.
I'd say, in the past couple of years, this term has popped up. What you understand when people say ghosting, where you get from
it? It's one of those things that when you die, you come back.
Yeah.
You come back and your hand.
And beat the person. Like Patrick Swayze. Patrick Swayze was the pioneer of ghosting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he was. Much. Oh man, I didn't realize there was a panda epidemic.
There's layers about this thing. There's layers. Right.
Yeah.
I guess I should ask before that. Was ghosting always a thing? We just never have a term for it. That was
I think it was always a thing, but it happened on a much lower scale.
Yeah, because this pretty much come with like the online dating boom and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So ghosting, in my opinion, is when you completely just like stop communicating with somebody.
Yeah.
You stop reaching out. If they reach out, you kind of ignore it. Not kind of, you ignore it.
Yeah.
And it just, the conversation or whatever, the relationship just die out.
Yeah.
Without you kind of putting a bookend on that situation. Yeah.
Do you think there's a time frame associated with ghosting? Like how long into talking before it constitutes ghosting? So can you ghost somebody if you only know them for 2 days? Is it a week? Is it 2 months? Like what do you think is like?
Yo, that is a really good question, actually. Because I think the emotions that I put towards ghosting comes after I feel like there has been some like the conversation was on a trajectory. That's what I'm saying. It's not like if like I felt like there was some substance to it.
Yeah.
So the fact that it stops so abruptly.
Yeah.
It confuses me.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I think that is the sweet spot for ghosting.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a time frame, but more of a like when you get the impression that things were going in a certain
Exactly. It's because when we think of time frame, right? A lot of things happen in different time frames.
Yeah.
So you could have talked to somebody for 5 hours and you really feel that connection with that person. Yeah. Things are going really good. And then nothing.
Yeah.
Or it can be over a few days. And even though it is a little bit more spotty, it's consistent. You dig what I'm saying? In the sense that the vibe is there.
Yeah.
So even though the person probably not talking to you every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, when they do, it feels like a progressive conversation.
Yeah.
So when if there's like something added to that end of it, it also feels like ghosting. So I'm not sure it's more like the situation and not like a time frame.
Not like a time frame.
How you feel?
Yeah, I'm right on board with that. Man, you for going to it because it's exactly what you said is exactly how I feel about it. It just depends on when.
That's why we're birds of a feather.
Yes. That's why. That is why the name of the podcast. We're living it. Yes, it's not just a brand name, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
But all right. So seeing that, I was about to ask next question, but I don't need to because of how passionately you got into this ghosting. I was going to ask you.
No, I'm just a passionate guy.
Because of, bro, I could feel it. I was like, wow, damn. Okay. Okay. I was so clearly you've been ghosted. Clearly, we all. The world has seen.
What haven't we all?
The world. I was gonna ask, but I'm like, I don't need to.
Bro, what haven't we all?
Yeah.
Don't leave me out there, guys.
No. Hold on, man. We have to throw you out to the sharks a little bit. We have to throw you out, and they will just say, joke there.
This person with you.
Just guy. So all right. So you have been ghosted.
Yes.
Have you ever ghosted someone?
Yes.
So
yes.
Ghost.
I just have to chalk it up to the game, bro.
Yeah. You have been ghosted, and
I have been ghosted, and I have ghosted.
Yeah.
It is not necessarily something that I want to do. But sometimes it has to happen.
Yeah, sometimes it's just necessary. But we get into some of these reasons afterward. So basically, so all right. So you say you've been ghosted, right?
Yeah.
Has there ever been a time where you've been ghosted where you just like because I guess with what you're saying with the definition of ghosting is like it's unexplainable as to why they would not talk to you anymore. So I'm sure there's like different levels of unexplainable, right? Yeah. Where sometimes you just like you talk to somebody for a couple of hours and you're like, yo, this conversation going good. Can't believe this person, can't hear from them. Sometimes it's a couple of weeks you've gone out with this person and you're like, yes. Nice. And then they're just like poof, and like they've never existed, disappear into the dimension. Yeah. Does that have a different impact on you necessarily? And does it affect like anything like your outlook on dating and all of that? Or you just like chalk it up to the game?
Like I want to say I chalk it up to the game.
Yeah.
But I don't.
No, we're being real here.
We're being real.
Yeah.
We're the realist.
Yeah.
Eventually I get to chalk it up to the game.
Yeah.
That phase. But in the beginning, I'm just like, my feelings kind of hurt. And it's not like the feelings kind of hurt in the sense of like you've been like in a relationship and you break up and it's just like if you felt like you had a connection with this person and it felt like the person felt the same way.
Yeah.
It is very odd that is the outcome of it. Yeah, the outcome is you're just not going to talk to me no more.
Yeah.
Or you won't reach out. Or you won't respond. And even though I'm kind of hypocritical, because I always go, yo, you know, you gotta say what you mean.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta say what you mean. And if this is not something that we want to do, say that or whatever. Yeah. There are times when I fall victim to that same thing.
Yeah. It's just easier for us to be like, you know what?
Yeah. I will say that I have never ghosted somebody who I felt like I've had like we've had real conversations and we've been going further. You know what I'm saying? It has always been initial interactions that ghosting has happened. Like maybe and we're going back to like the time frame stuff, but maybe like we talk and there's like some weirdness will happen or one of my red flags get hit. And I'm just like, nope. Bye.
Out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm out. I have never ghosted somebody who we've had like real conversations and felt like the progression of things were going right. And then I'm just like, oh, this is not someone I want. Usually bow out gracefully.
Oh, okay.
And just be like, yo, this is not something I want to do.
A better man.
Sometimes.
A better man than me.
Okay. So pretty much you are a ghoster, is what you're saying.
I know I am not a ghoster. I wouldn't say that, but I have definitely ghosted
Would you say a ghosting to not ghosting ratio?
No, it is low. It is low. Ghosting to not ghosting, yeah, it is low. But when I ghost, I am a dopey. So when
for the people who don't know what dopey is.
Yeah.
That is just another name for ghosts.
Yeah. Jamaican slang. But dopies
is that Jamaican or is that like Caribbean culture?
Right. Jamaica is the Caribbean. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You said it.
We were all thinking it.
Bring it.
We were all thinking it.
Bring it.
Yeah, I think it's probably a Caribbean.
Yeah, no, it's a Caribbean. It's a Caribbean thing.
Okay, the Caribbean thing.
Yeah, it's a Caribbean thing. But I was just being, Yeah. No, but for me, all right. So we're gonna go back to the being ghosted piece. So I'm good to chalk it up to the game, but I also fabricate stories to myself to make me feel better about getting ghosted. I fabricate stories to myself, and my most common story that I fabricate to myself is, there was a guy that she was seeing before, and he popped up back. You know what I mean? So maybe it was an ex. Yeah. Maybe it was an ex. Maybe
that's a good way.
Yeah, maybe it was an ex. Maybe it was somebody who she met way before me. You see me? Maybe she met him a couple of months before me, and things were going, but they weren't solid yet. And now we decide to be solid, and then she just goes. So that is how I cope with it.
I think I'm going to implement that. I mean, lying to yourself has never been wrong before.
Bro.
I don't see why it would be right now.
Truth, really.
Exactly.
It's just what most people believe it to be. So that is my thing. And then when it comes to ghosting, so I've been in situations where we've been hanging out for months, and then we're just like, no, this not work anymore. And then we just stop responding to it. Right. Or we respond very late, or respond the next day. And then so it's not just an immediate ghost, it's more like a fading ghost. You know what I mean? Like it just like, oh no, we'll respond tomorrow. Oh, we'll respond 2 days after. Okay, I'm not responding. You know what I mean? So you get
what is the reason for that? Why not just communicate?
Because communicating nice sometimes and sometimes not. You know what I mean? Just to put it bluntly, sometimes we communicate and be like, it is what it is, and sometimes we just yeah, we rather throw a smoke bomb. But I will say I've never ghosted anybody that I was building something with. Gotcha. You know what I mean? It would be a casual dating situation. Everybody know that it's casual.
So this month's dating was a casual.
Yeah, it would be a casual thing. You see me? So it would be a couple months, and it's just been, and we knew from the outset that it was casual. And then it was just like, I'm not this no more. But I've never ghosted anybody that I was like, we're building something. I would never do that. And if it was a situation where I'm not into it when we were initially building something, I would have a conversation with them.
Yep.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, so that is one definite reason why I would go. Because just sometimes I just can't bother the conversation. I'm gonna want to hear it.
Yeah.
Just no one go through the back and forth.
And sometimes it is like if that person, if it is obvious that person is much further than you.
Yeah.
And I guess it can also be flipped that way for the people who are doing the ghosting to you. It's like they know that you're making plans, you're being progressive, you're this and that, and they're just not there. Whoa. Yeah. So they're like, I'm jumping ship.
Yeah. Man, I can remember one specific ghosting incident. It literally just popped in my mind after being dormant for many years. But this was a very strange
years.
Yeah, dog, it was many years of dormancy. Very many years of dormancy. But as you said that where them say you're far along. No, I for sure was not further along. You know what I mean? I think we were at the same place. I was not looking at this girl as my future or anything. It was very casual, but we had a good vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the vibe was nice, and it was like, okay. So there was one night. So she worked at a hospital, so it was like an overnight shift situation. You see me? And there was one night I was out for a walk, and like I was near her hospital, and her lunchtime was coming up. So I was like, oh yo, I'm getting some food. You want to bring you some lunch? She was like, oh sure. So I brought the lunch up and gave it to her. And then after that, dog is like, she's just like, whoa, bro. Didn't know we were bringing each other. I was just like, first of all, don't even read into that, because like that that don't mean a single thing. I do not want anything extra from you. But she took that and thought that I was trying to get serious, and then everything just fizzled out right after that moment. So that's
in the sense that she stopped responding, or she just kind of like the frequency of her response.
The frequency of responses started to get less and less and less.
And it was like, let's have a conversation and
responding. Exactly. And then she actually said, she thinks I'm looking for something more serious. And I was just like, based on what? Based on a burrito? Based on a burrito? It's just
you
like,
care too much.
Yeah, just like I actually really don't care. just take the burrito, Bridget. It's a nice thing to do. But all right. But that didn't stop me from being a nice guy, though.
Yeah, sure. Sometimes when being nice goes wrong, it's pretty much what that.
And I didn't turn into an incel.
What?
An incel.
You said you didn't turn into an incel?
Yeah. You know what an incel is, right?
Obviously.
Okay.
Not.
Bro, oh my, all right, so we have to take a detour and get into incels for 2 minutes.
Yep.
Incel, the term incel, I-N-C-E-L is how it's spelled. Incel is a group of men who are involuntarily celibate, which means that they want to go out and fornicate, but no one wants to fornicate.
Yo, this is the best detour we have ever taken. I will be adding this to my vocabulary.
Yeah, dog.
Because I know a bag of incels.
Yeah, so they banded together as a group, call themselves incels, and no doubt them have terms. So they call the girls that they can't get are called Stacies.
No.
And the guys that those girls go for are called Chads. So they pride themselves on being nice guys who can't get the girls because the Stacies are only going for the Chads.
Wow.
And it's a whole group. And the part where it gets sad is that this group is like prone to violence against women as well.
Stop it. Is there an incel society?
Yeah, there's a sub-society of incels. Yeah. There's a sub-society of incels. No, it's not like they're not like a massive group and taking over the world. But like there's definitely a subculture. Yeah, there's definitely a subculture of them that are like aggressively like being violent towards women and taking out their frustrations because no woman wants them because they're nice guys and nice guys finish last. Yeah. So that is that.
Insane.
Yeah, incels, dog. It is crazy. Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't know.
Yeah. So there you go. A little bit of knowledge for you. Yeah. Ridiculous, Bridget. So but back to ghosting. back to ghosting. But yeah.
Back on track.
Yes, as I said, that was a definite scenario where that has happened to me, where I was just like, all right. But it's not like I was like, okay, never going to bring anyone. I'm just like, first of all, if that is something that signal to you that I was like falling head over heels, then I actually more feel sorry for you and the treatment that you have gotten. Yeah.
Bro, I was waiting to make that point. Like, like some I don't want to speak generally about women. Someone said there are some situations that I feel like people say us do, and feel like it is taking way more effort. We're putting way more effort into something.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to it.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And to them, it come off as going the extra mile. I guess to us, it's
just like status quo.
Like I was around, you're somebody that I vibe well with. I'm getting a burrito. I know you're working overnight.
And you're right there.
And you're right here. Like you're right in the walking path.
Yeah.
So, you want a burrito.
Express why.
It's probably not good that much.
Yeah, but it's not. I'm not going to blame the women. I'm going to blame the men for creating a bare minimum culture.
Absolutely.
So they create this. There's this bare minimum culture out there, and then women like they have no choice but to like buy. It's either they just like nope and just shut it out. But of course, the masses is not going to do that, right?
Exactly.
So the bare minimum culture. This is what they've come to expect as the norm. And then when you go above that, it's just like, oh, you know, some people will take it as, oh, he's too interesting. And some will be like, wow, what a great guy. You know what I mean? When really you're not doing anything. But anyway, that's for a different topic.
Yeah, different topic.
Yeah. So outside of that reason, do you think there's any other reason that you ghosted or that you've been ghosted?
That I've been ghosted?
Yeah, or have ghosted, like some of the reasons that you have outside of I am sure I have been ghosted for a plethora of reasons. Yeah.
One of them that's high is I'm sure I have probably offended somebody.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to myself. And I don't mean offend them in the sense that I call him out of their name or something.
Yeah.
But you know our humans.
Yeah. It can be abrasive to the wrong person.
Yeah. And I always fall into this comfortability, like a comfort zone where I feel like after talking to somebody, I feel like them grasp my humor, my funny.
So you start.
So we start be funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they have not.
Yeah.
So I have quite literally said something, and the person just don't answer.
Yeah.
And in that sense, we know say.
And then that one you have to just chalk up to the game because at the end of the day, if you can't release your humor, then that is not that person is not the type of person for you.
And I pride myself on being a funny guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that funny.
A hilarious
guy.
Yeah.
So that's one reason why I feel like I've been ghosted. I feel like I've also been ghosted because I have been a little bit too, what's the word? Like I want things to happen too fast.
Gotcha.
You understand? So like in different stages of dating, you're in different stages of your life. So it's like, yo, I'm doing this dating thing and I'm actually like actively dating. Like, yo, I want to be in a relationship. Blah, 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 blah. So you find this person where you like, and you like this person, and you're just like, yo, I'm sure the best part of
it. Yeah. Top chops.
You know, top chops.
Yeah. Top chops.
You understand? I'm gonna take the lead. I'm gonna make sure that I'm saying hello. I'm being consistent. You know, all the things that you know what I mean? Be consistent. Take the lead. Be protective. Whatever. You know, like the dates. Make sure you plan the dates, stuff like that. So I have been overzealous, I would say. On some of these things, and that has led to that. And also that would have chalked that up to the game as well. Because I feel like in those situations, like one of the things I always ask is kind of just like, you know, what are you looking for? Like, that just come up. Pretty much. And it's always like, yo, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if you're looking to actively date, then it shouldn't be a problem. Not like I'm saying, oh, let's get married. That was never even in the thing. So I've been ghosted for that as well.
Oh, okay.
I've also been ghosted for not doing that.
Yeah. Right. It's just one of those worlds. Was that so? All right. So here's the real question now.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to be a ghostbuster? Meaning, you've been ghosted and you're trying to undo the ghosting. You're like, oh, like you send a message, you haven't heard a reply, and you're like, you double text, maybe triple text.
I don't think I've triple text.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't triple text.
Yeah.
Usually, I would send out a search party.
Yeah. Like, hey, I noticed you haven't. She must be missing. That's clearly what happened. She got kidnapped. We call the cops. I have a couple of friends I can put on the case. Yeah.
I think when suspicion of ghosting arises.
And said can't be ghosting. Something must be wrong. She must not be safe.
Exactly. Exactly. Writing in, sending a small but precise search bar.
Yeah, dog.
Find out whether or not she has been kidnapped.
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I haven't heard from you. Just checking in.
Small search party. Yeah, just checking in with a search party. That's all.
Just checking in with a small, very small.
Who wouldn't do that for the one they love? Like, whoa, bro.
Back to the Yeah. So usually after 2 texts. The first one where there's no response, and then the search party text.
Yeah.
Usually I'm like, all right, this is where I'm throwing in the chips.
Yeah.
And I'm folding.
Yeah.
And that is usually where that happens. What about you? Do you double text or triple text?
Triple never. Triple.
Only thing we get a triple of is alcohol.
Yeah. I like that very much. All right, triple.
Only alcohol.
God,
yeah, that's a lot of effort.
Triple? No. Double depending on how hot. Depending on how hot.
I knew it.
Yeah. Depending on how hot, the hot and interesting scale, right? So if you're like up here on the hot and interesting scale, yeah, man, you get a double text.
Yeah, you sure you don't want that?
Yeah, you sure you don't want that? Outside. I'm outside if you wanna. You just wanna pop up.
Outside.
But yeah. If it was just like you're okay. Not double texting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you have to think about the stories in it.
All right. Let me ask you this. Have you felt like you've been ghosted, but then you double text, no response, and then they text you at a later date?
Yeah, that has happened before. But then every time that happened, well, no, not every time. There has been times actually where it's just like, oh, they lost their phone. But that's very rare. Very rare.
Yeah.
Very rare.
How many people losing their phone?
Yeah. So very, very rare. Yeah. That happened probably once or twice in my career. But I would say that most of the time they come back, it just fizzles out again. It has never been like, oh, it was just a quick thing, let's get back to it. You know what I mean? It's
what's the sense of it?
Yeah. It's never. I think it was more like a guilt that was more felt. You know what I mean?
All right. So I am going to
go.
pull on that guilt stream.
All right, let's go.
And I'm going to say, have you been in a situation where you want to ghost somebody?
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, you kind of like make them ghost you?
No, I've never done that.
Okay.
I've never done that, but I have. Like if I want, as I said, my strategy is to just slowly ghost. So not just like don't respond, but like respond tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just make that marinate a little bit in here. You send me a message and then we just wait a couple, you know what I mean? We're just like, oh, I'm gonna do something else, I'll get back to you and so. And then just stop message. So that's kind of be it. That is my little That is my toxic trait.
Yes.
Yeah. That is my.
I would say
you put a reverse psychology. You're like, I'm gonna let you go instead.
No. The way so there's sometimes I get in a mood where like I'm not texting people, right? So I think what has happened to me is somebody texts me and I don't text them back right away, but not because I'm trying to ghost them. It's just I'm just in another mood.
Yeah.
Right. And then it becomes this thing where I'm like, I text them in the morning, right? And then the morning come, and I just like, yo, I just procrastinate. I text them this evening, and then one day become like 2 days.
Yeah.
And then 2 days become like 2 days from me, like just being like, oh, me text them back. But by the time you reach the time to text them back, it becomes this weird time.
Yeah.
They can't like respond to them.
Yeah.
So there's always this weird thing. So I'm definitely not. There's times when I am actively trying to like ghost, but there's also times where I'm not trying to ghost. Yeah, I'm trying to be a positive ghost. Yeah, and that happens. So
like you're like Casper,
friendly,
the friendly ghost.
The positive ghost.
I see. So with all of this talk on ghosting, we're going to wrap it up with. So with all of that, do you think after this heart-to-heart chat that you will continue to ghost going forward? Man say, I did not learn anything. This is not red table talk. This is not red table talk. Yeah.
Most likely.
No, same. I've not grown from this experience.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You have to chalk it down to the
game.
It will happen.
Yeah.
And like I said, even though I want to be like, communicate, use your words. There are definitely situations where I do that, and there are situations where I'm just like, no. Hey, I can't bother.
Yeah. Well, here you go.
So if you guys, you guys shouldn't ghost.
Yeah, no, you guys, ghosting is terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. Don't do it.
We wouldn't recommend it. So we've just done a deep dive into ghosting. Tell us what you think. Have you ghosted?
Yeah.
You, the ghost. And
what is the reason why you ghost?
Yeah. We'd like to know. We'd like to know if it differs from ours. Or if you feel it, or if we're relatable. Are we relatable? Relatable guys.
Yeah.
Just you see yourself. Yes. Yes. All right.
Yeah. Tell them to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And share.
Tell them, bro. You tell them.
All right. I just did. So.
Oh, all right, fine. So do it then.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, bye.
Peace.